a vast palette of expressions.
There's the, I'm lying. There's the, I'm pleased with myself. So, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Yeah. 2.
I've got 2 again. You've got two acting techniques.
Brent saw his chief role in the office as entertainer.
They're cracking up.
He didn't say, I want to be a comedian, or I'm like a comedian. He said things like, as a comedian, and he meant it. He thought, I'm a comedian. You just haven't discovered me yet.
No, is it an intro? What I'm saying is it...
Hey! Finchy!
David, man, when's it due?
Oh, here we go. Fasten your seatbelt.
Hey, it's not a seatbelt big enough for you, you fat bastard.
All bought and paid for.
And David Brent saw himself as a double act with odious sales rep Chris Finch, played by Ralph Ineson. Together, they were partners in crime, against comedy.
He was there to show that Brent wasn't actually a bastard. Brent was a bit of a, you know, a twit, a bit of a loser. But Finch was a nasty piece of work. You know, Finch was there to remind you shouldn't really laugh at bullies, because on the face of it, he's this guy who comes in, he's a life and soul, but then he starts being nasty, and you might laugh, but soon it's your turn.
And you're a waste of bloody fun.
Everybody's come across people like that and just wanted to kind of out them, and it felt a bit like outing all these yobby show-off bullies that exist in everybody's life, and it was quite kind of cathartic to do it like that, which sounds terribly poncy, I know, but yeah, it felt different to play that character, because I really hated him and I enjoyed making him a complete tosser, because, you know, it's like calling those people a tosser yourself. You know.
University education didn't help you there, did it? Now, let that be a lesson to you. Eh? Respect your elders and do not fuck with the big boy.
Life.
When you think about some of the things that Ricky and Stephen did in the office, the show took on some big issues that people would often shy away from in quite a fearless way.
Ricky and Steve like to challenge taboos, or, you know, that's where they like to play in that kind of area.
This guy does the best Ali G impersonation. I did do it. Go on.
I don't. I think there's someone else.
Sorry, no, it's not you, it's the other one.
Ricky sort of has odd little obsessions with certain areas of, you know, things like disability and race, where sometimes we'd sort of go, oh, I really think that's a bit too much. I think you might have to not do that. And which they reacted to, their automatic reaction was to say, well, you know, we're absolutely going to do it then.
You like a drink at the end of the week?
Besides the redundancy subplot, another key story strand was the romantic triangle between Dawn, Tim, and Dawn's bit of rough from the Wernham Hog Warehouse, Lee, played by Joel Beckett.
That's right. You ready, yeah?
Yeah, would you mind if I went out for a drink with this lot?
No, come on, let's go.
The romantic element was always a really important, you know, factor in the whole show, and I think had I made the show on my own, I'd have probably made it much more significant. And I think it was Ricky that suggested that the beauty of it is to let it be very subtle and downplay it, and because of that documentary world, they can't express the way they feel, so it becomes a lot more charged and consequently more romantic. Lucy and Martin, you know, just take that to another level. You know, they have, you know, something which is obviously which is beyond our control, which is just a chemistry together.
All these flirtatious moments aren't really just to do with, oh, my blouse undone, the top button, or it's to do with them, just look at them getting on. You know, everyone goes, oh, they should be together, and the reason is because look at them always having fun.
I think in the professional world, a lot of Ricky and Stephen's contemporaries had regarded them perhaps as a bit of the new guys, and they'd been working at this game for a very, very long time. Suddenly, they changed in their estimation. And it went from being this little summertime show to being something that everybody claimed to have spotted first.
Faith in the show was rewarded at the end of season 1 with a South Bank Show Award, followed by a Comedy Award and 2 BAFTAs. Lavished with critical applause, commissioning a second series was a no-brainer, and expectations were high.
I remember waiting for the scripts for the second series, and that was infuriating, just waiting for them. I couldn't wait to read them. And of course I wasn't disappointed.
Series 2 opens with the merger of the Wernham Hogg branches. This means the office has new characters and Brent has a new boss. The younger, more dynamic and, worst of all, more popular Neil Godwin, played by Patrick Ballady, soon to become the ultimate thorn in Brent's side. Another significant threat to the status quo was Stacey Rocker as the vivacious and flirtatious Rachel. Her arrival further complicates the dynamics of the office's romance.
Series 2 of anything is a joy, because you're not writing blind anymore. You're not only coming up with the lines for characters you know who's playing them, so you play to their strengths. And, you know, a very good case in point is Big Keith, Ewan McIntosh. Now, he was effectively an extra in the first series. Under strengths, you've just put accounts.
Yeah.
Okay. Under weaknesses, you've put eczema.
I think it brought out the kind of the heart and soul of Keith, and it also showed another side to Brent, his sort of exasperation, and him actually being, you know, the brains in the conversation for once.
What are you doing?
You've got hop everywhere.
Perhaps the most significant day in the second series, Red Nose Day, which should be one of Brent's happiest days, in fact turns out to be his bleakest. Tim's donation of £1 in return for a kiss from Dawn tells him the dalliance with Rachel was a sham. And when Neil and Rachel perform a polished dance routine for charity, Brent reacts badly and things start getting ugly. Really ugly.
I think the second series is in many ways a better sitcom than the first series. I think we got into the romance a bit heavier and more definitely, and we really turned the screws on this man's breakdown. We wanted people to realise he was a real bloke. He wasn't just this comical buffoon. He was a bloke who was affected by this. So what? He wasn't very good at his job. So what? You know, we had to drag Brent down. We had to take him to hell and back.
We'd like to offer you a very generous redundancy package.
Are you offering me it, or are you telling me I've got to take it?
We're telling you you've got to take it.
Personally, I think the favourite thing I've ever done is beg for my job back as an actor with Jennifer and Neil.
I will try twice as hard. I really will. I know I've been complacent, and I'll turn this place around if we just say that it's not definite now, and then we can. You're not going until if we're starting from now. Starting from now.
We wanted people to go, oh, I've been laughing at David Brent for all these weeks, and he's crying now. He's human. He's all right.
I wanted another series immediately, and then I wanted more and more and more. And like any channel controller, you've got this wonderful thing, and you just think, this could be 20 of them, this could be on all year, this could be lots and lots. And Ricky and Stephen were always, we can't do that many, we can't do that many. It's just a special, special thing.
Series 2 picked up British Comedy and Royal Television Society Awards and 2 BAFTAs. For a year, the cast would be kept busy on other projects, notably Mackenzie Crook, who sailed straight to Hollywood for Pirates of the Caribbean. But in December 2003, the office returned by overwhelming public demand for 2 Christmas specials. We rejoined David Brent in reduced circumstances, trying to keep up appearances as a door-to-door salesman.
Hello. Well, the exciting thing about doing the specials was, you know, there'd been a bit of a gap. I think it had been like a year and a bit, and we treated that like it was a different documentary team going back and doing one of those revisited type programmes.
Well, he's the star of that BBC Two documentary series, The Office. He's the boss from hell. He's looking for love and a job. He's all the way from Slough. Give it up, everybody, for David Brent!
So now, Brent had become a bit of a minor local celebrity. He was trying to become a performer. So it gave it a new injection.
Despite his ignominious departure, he still makes regular visits to the old office, where Gareth now occupies his desk.
Well, I bought that.
from Halfords. Oh, here he is.
This fella who nicked me job.
Gareth is, his eyes have been opened a little bit about Brent. And perhaps he's discovered that the job wasn't as difficult as Brent sometimes made out, something like that. He's fallen from his pedestal a bit. But, you know, like you remember your first love or a crush you had in school, he's still fond of him.
Brent's online dates have so far all been disasters, but he's determined not to turn up alone at the office party, so he pins all his hopes on another blind date.
We brought you the long way round. So that's Chris, Neil, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Hi.
For this evening. So,
Hi.
yeah.
I'm kind of in awe of the way they wrote David Brent's dates for that final episode. It was so well done that they picked a woman that could quite possibly, you know, give him a chance. She wasn't a caricature, and she was attractive, and they did that so brilliantly.
Would you want to see him again? Yeah, I think so.
And you were left with this such a great feeling that perhaps it's going to be all right for David Brent.
People often accused us of being kind of cynical and you know, and sort of a little bit mean-spirited or something. And to us, that was never the case. We always had great warmth and love for these characters, and so we were kind of. We knew people would be expecting yet another downbeat ending, which is why we end the first special in as kind of grim a place as we can, so that we can redeem everyone by the end of the second.
No dog with you today, David?
Oh, do you not see her? She just left.
Chris,
Yeah.
why don't you fuck off?
I think people were so much looking forward to seeing how it was going to work out. And I know people were really rooting for Tim and Dawn to get together. And I hadn't told a soul. I hadn't told a soul of what was going to happen. I refused. Most people didn't want to know anyway. They wanted to watch it for themselves. But even like my boyfriend or my mum, I was like, nope, not telling you, not telling you. I was like, no, you can bloody watch it.
My son. The doctor's telling the truth as well.
Is he a man old? Careful, she's got a fiancé.
Not anymore.
We didn't want it to be too neat because it wasn't our style. It wasn't what the programme was trying to do. But we did want to leave a taste in the mouth, this flavour of what they might be doing now. So are Tim and Dawn together? Don't know. Is Brent with his date? Don't know. Has he got a job? Don't know. But it doesn't matter because he told Finchy to fuck off. She said, "Call me," and Tim and Dawn kissed. That's all you need to know.
Being in the office continues to be the perfect reference. Martin Freeman got his own sitcom Hardware, then moved into films like Love Actually, and in 2005 starred in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Mackenzie Crook is now a fixture in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Lucy Davis helped bring Simon Pegg's zombie movie Shaun of the Dead to life and is carving out a career on American TV in the series Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip and Ugly Betty. As for Ricky and Stephen, they rested briefly before coming up with hit number 2, Extras.
We saw loads and loads of interviews of all these A-listers from America, because in those few years the office had become very big in America, saying, "Oh, my favourite thing's The Office, you know. I'd love to work with that Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant." We went, right, OK then, money where your mouth is.
I like you, for example. I think you're great.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I don't normally watch films more than once, but I thought The Matrix, I loved it. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Good film, that's all she's saying. Yes.
And you were brilliant in it.
Oh, you know, I bumped into Sam Jackson. He said, "I've just bought your DVD. I love it." All right, I remember that. And that's how we got all these people, all from The Office.
After the first series of Extras, Ricky was awarded the ultimate comedy accolade, being invited to write and star in an episode of The Simpsons, and now he's returning the favour to the stars who appeared in Extras, popping up alongside Ben Stiller in Night at the Museum and Stardust with Robert De Niro. Recently, Ricky and Stephen have returned to their roots and with their new chum Carl Pilkington are embracing new broadcasting technology. The trio's philosophical musings are officially and lucratively the world's most popular downloadable podcast. Ricky and Stephen seem in no immediate danger of losing their Midas touch, but it was the show that put Slough on the comedy map and made a megastar of Ricky Gervais that reveals the duo's approach. Trust in your own vision, believe in your own talent, and stick to your guns. Oh, and one other thing.
We ripped off the best.
Oh, yeah.
It's not new at all.
There's not a new idea in that goddamn show.
No, we ripped off Lauren Hardy, The Simpsons, Spinal Tap. What was the other one you said? Woody Allen.
Woody Allen, Larry Sanders.
Larry Sanders, yeah. We ripped them all off. Ha ha.
And we got away with it. Ha ha.